Hey, what's up, friends? How's it going? So today is a leisure topic, just something that I just wanted to really vent my thoughts on when it comes to mobile technology, which is the one field that I have a huge interest in, obviously from the YouTube videos that I do, and my favorite operating system being Android. Obviously, you can tell on my videos, but sometimes when I sit and think about it, I get a little sad, and I think this, the way Android was going, I think it kind of veered off a little bit. I honestly do think that while Android is open source, that whole term of open source pretty much came back and bit Android in the butt and bit Google directly in the butt, because while you sit there and you say that, the platform is to be open, it's to be just for people to make whatever they want to make out of it, they've also allowed carriers to really sink their teeth in and just kind of like persuade how devices by manufacturers are made and what types of regulations they want. Now, I'm not saying that it should all be free and open. We should have no regulations whatsoever. We should, just to make sure that we're always getting the best product that we can get. The thing that I'm talking about, though, is where Verizon and AT&T and now Sprint and some other companies are starting to lock down bootloaders. They're starting to prevent methods of getting super user access to your Android device. Now, most Android devices come out of the box, pretty much, just the way it is. But you do have the ability to unlock it, technically getting it, giving super user permissions, and then that way you can alter your Android device to your liking. Whether it's just, installing a few mods here and there just to, get a better experience, or if it goes into the more heavier stuff like ROMing your phone. And ROMing basically, or a ROM, is the software that either you or anyone else who knows how to do and, basically understands coding and development could actually create a software based on the foundation of Android and make it to your liking, like changing colors, adding features, etc., and using it on your Android device. So, you can either put it out there for everyone else to use to install on their Android phones, or you can make it just a personal thing where it's just a ROM you built that you're flashing into your phone and nobody else is going to get it, which makes your phone very different from everybody else's, yet still running Android. Those days are dwindling really fast where we could actually do those things. I mean, one of the things that I pay homage to a lot of the developers on XDA and everywhere else around the world is because my main break in YouTube started with ROMing. My very first phone that I actually practiced installing themes, technically, because the Samsung Intercept really didn't have any ROMs. It had a lot of themes, that you would say, where they took Froyo and they themed it to have certain colors, certain icon packs, and whatnot. So, but Samsung Intercept, I think the only ROM that really actually had that was a full ROM was CyanogenMod 7, which was Gingerbread, and the camera wasn't even working on that one. So, but you were able to experience Gingerbread on the Samsung Intercept, and from that point, I knew Android was going to be the operating system that I really, really would enjoy, because I like tinkering around with technology and customizing things to the way that I want it to look, that I feel would be like a shock and awe to people around me when I show them something that my phone has or how it looks. After the Intercept, I got this phone right here, which is the Galaxy S2. It had been out for a year already, but Virgin Mobile and Boost Mobile got them a year after they were released. This was when prepaids weren't getting all the flagships right away. And with the Galaxy S2, there was so much development by the time I had bought my Galaxy S2 that I was able to just play around with so many ROMs. I became a flashaholic. After rooting the phone, installing a custom recovery, there was a ton of AOSP ROMs, which, if you don't know what AOSP is, basically just think of it as stock Android. So however Android looked at that time, the stock version of it, which was Ice Cream Sandwich at the time, had a blue and black theme. Then just about everything was pretty much blue and black on my Galaxy S2, as far as like the notification bar on the top. And so you could actually run stock Android, and then there was a ton of developers who were building TouchWiz themed ROMs with certain features involved, like bringing Galaxy S4 features to the Galaxy S2, and of course, they even ported over some like Showstock ROM, which is one of my favorite TouchWiz ROMs, and it ported over the was it the TouchWiz ROM of AT&T's Galaxy S2, I believe it was, or one of the Galaxy devices. But basically, it brought the dual window where you could multitask two windows open at the same time. It brought that over to this Galaxy S2, which was really awesome. I enjoyed that. People were tripping out when they saw my phone. They saw me being on YouTube at the same time as being on Google Plus, and they're like, he has split window. They were checking the back of my phone. It said Galaxy S2. They were really freaking out about it. And then I'm gonna tell them like, yeah, this is a custom ROM, and I tell them it's called Showstock 3. You can download it on, I believe it's XDA that had it. XDA had them, so I would like you to tell them where to get it. And because of all the ROMs that I was able to put on the Galaxy S2, I always had videos that showed people new ROMs that were coming out or updates to previous ROMs that I had reviewed and showed what was different or whatever. And it brought the phone up. Matter of fact, the Galaxy S2, I believe it started on Gingerbread, and it was able to go to Ice Cream Sandwich, and it finally had an update to Jelly Bean 4.1. You were able to bring this device up to Jelly Bean 4.2, Jelly Bean 4.3, KitKat 4.4, all the way up to KitKat 4.4.4. So you were able to bring this phone up just to about the last operating system, because we're now on Lollipop and we're about to enter into Android M, but we're not there yet. So technically it brought up to just one generation behind, which was KitKat. And that was amazing. And all these things were achieved because of the fact that it was open source. There wasn't a lot of things in the way of stopping us to do that. And carriers are starting to put these restrictions out, and it really irritates me because the only reason why they're doing it is they don't want people taking free data. They don't want people to use their phone as a mobile hotspot for the data that you already pay an unlimited price for. So, which we know is not real unlimited. You are throttled at, after you pass a certain amount of data usage. But, I think it's just pretty idiotic that that's their main concern. They really want to charge everyone an extra $30 on their phone bill just to tether internet signal to a tablet or laptop on the fly. I think it's ridiculous. I really feel sorry for it, and I think this is what's really hurting it, because if you look around nowadays, there's not a lot of development. The development that we do have, sometimes people feel is like half-assed, like they can get us root, but they will go no further than that, or they're nearly impossible to create, recovery with a locked bootloader and having to try and find a way to bump the recovery in on a lockdown device, just all this stuff. I mean, I commend all the developers who rack their brain trying to find ways to do this, and really appreciate it. And I hope this video will pay homage to them and have everyone else show their support for what they do for us, because we really need this. I mean, development has gone down. You only see really like custom ROMs that have to do with flagship devices, and not everybody buys flagship devices. So it really hurts the entire industry. It really hurts everyone's user experience. We're losing that fundamental thing that we love about Android, which is customization. We're really losing it. And I really just wish that for some time now, and not even that whole crap where they're talking about that if you keep your phone on there for a year, you can unlock it or whatever. Like, let's just get out of here with that. Like, if you buy the phone outright cash, you should be able to unlock it right away. Unlock that bootloader. There should be no problems with doing so. Matter of fact, I don't even think we really need locked bootloaders. Most of the people who do mess around with their Android device know what they're doing. So, and then there's tons of support and help on the internet for people who are basically novice throughout all this, and they have more experienced people online that will help them understand what they're doing with their Android smartphone. So that's just pretty much my rant for today. If you guys enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. If you have anything you guys want to add it in the comment section of this video. Subscribe if you have not for future videos, and share this on social network, and follow me on my social network. I have a lot to say to end this video. And yeah, so I'm gonna go and reminisce and play around with my other Galaxy S2. Just have two of them, and I'm just gonna go and play around with them just for old time's sake and see what they can do. So, my name is Tito with Aloha Android. Thank you guys for watching this long video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.
Let me out! I'm stuck in your pocket.